When one thinks of the continent in the vast expanse of the Pacific, a single sun-scorched landmass often comes to mind: Australia. It is a place of iconic wildlife, bounding kangaroo, sleepy koala, and its sheer size dominates maps of the region. This immense island continent, from sprawling deserts to bustling coastal cities, has become a shorthand for the entire corner of the globe. For many people in the Northern Hemisphere, Australia and Oceania are used almost interchangeably. This confusion obscures a far more complex and wonderfully diverse reality: countless islands and cultures scattered across the world's largest ocean. The reasons are clear. Australia is the heavyweight, in land area and economic influence, a single country occupying a continent. Its presence in sports, media, and politics cements its global identity. Flights often end in Sydney or Melbourne. That focus casts a long shadow over neighbors, rendering thousands of islands and dozens of nations almost invisible. Schoolroom maps flatten the sphere into a plane, distances compress. Australia draws the eye while Polynesia, Melanesia, and Micronesia shrink to specks. The shorthand makes Australia the main character and the rest the supporting cast, like seeing a forest and only the largest tree. The story here is the ancient relationship between humanity and the sea, a narrative across waves and archipelagos, a mosaic of cultures connected by water. So, if this continent is not just Australia, what exactly is Oceania? The name comes from Oceanus, chosen because the ocean defines this region. Unlike continents defined by contiguous land, Oceania is a sea of islands, grouping Australia with thousands across the central and southern Pacific. Here, water is not a barrier but the fabric connecting lands and peoples, a highway for migration and trade for millennia. Oceania spans over 8.5 million square kilometers, with relatively tiny land area, and is traditionally divided into 4 sub-regions: Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, and New Guinea; Melanesia, islands of black; Micronesia, small islands; Polynesia, many islands, bounded by the Polynesian Triangle and united by remarkable seafaring traditions. Oceania is not a single place but a sprawling collection of worlds. Recognizing this moves us beyond the singular image of Australia, and invites us to explore a world defined by the life-giving sea. To grasp the sheer diversity of Oceania, look at its independent nations. It is a vibrant collection of sovereign states, each with its own government, history, and identity. In total, Oceania is comprised of 14 countries. The largest and most populous is Australia, then Papua New Guinea, extraordinarily rich in cultures, and New Zealand, dramatic landscapes and a unique blend of Maori and European heritage. These 3 are widely recognized, but they are only the beginning. In Melanesia beyond PNG, the Solomon Islands, an archipelago of nearly 1,000 islands; Vanuatu, active volcanoes and ancient traditions; Fiji, a cultural crossroads and global visitor magnet; dense rainforests, mountainous terrain, and remarkable diversity of languages and customs, each island a distinct identity. The Federated States of Micronesia, 4 states across hundreds of islands; the Marshall Islands, shaped by 20th century history and rising seas; Palau, pristine marine environments; Kiribati, low-lying atolls straddling the equator; Nauru, the world's smallest island nation shaped by phosphate mining; in Polynesia, Samoa, often seen as a cradle of Polynesian culture; Tonga, the Pacific's enduring kingdom; Tuvalu, facing imminent climate threats. These 14 nations, from continental Australia to tiny Nauru, form Oceania's political tapestry, linked by shared traditions and a deep connection to the ocean. The story of how Oceania was settled is one of humanity's greatest adventures: courage, ingenuity, endurance. Around 65,000 years ago, the earliest humans reached what is now Australia and New Guinea. During the Pleistocene, low seas joined them into a single continent, Sahul. Ancestors of today's Aboriginal Australians and Papuans made a remarkable sea crossing from Southeast Asia, the world's first true maritime explorers. For millennia, settlement lay within Sahul and nearby Melanesia. Societies flourished in isolation, from arid deserts to misty mountain forests, creating thousands of distinct cultures and languages. A profound spiritual relationship with sustaining lands emerged. Meanwhile, the Central and Eastern Pacific remained untouched, silent for thousands more years. Then came the Lapita, about 3.5 millennia ago. Originating near Taiwan, skilled seafarers and agriculturalists spread through Melanesia with distinctive pottery, animals, and crops. Most remarkable was their open ocean navigation, reading stars, currents, and waves to push ever eastward. This expansion began the settlement of the planet's last great frontiers, Micronesia and Polynesia. In a rapid, far-reaching migration, Polynesians settled a vast triangle of the Pacific. They reached Hawaii, Easter Island, and around 800 years ago, New Zealand. They sailed magnificent double-hulled canoes carrying everything needed to build new communities. Guided by ancestral knowledge, they completed the peopling of Oceania, transforming an empty ocean into an interconnected world of island cultures. The peoples of Oceania form a rich tapestry of human ancestry. One ancestral stream, descendants of Sahul, Papuan peoples in New Guinea and nearby Melanesia. Among the oldest continuous populations outside Africa, with extraordinary diversity, hundreds of ethnic groups. The second, Austronesian peoples, seafaring migrants from Southeast Asia about 4,000 years ago. Polynesians, Maori, Samoans, Tongans, native Hawaiians, Micronesians, and Austronesian-speaking coastal peoples of Melanesia. In Melanesia, Papuans and Austronesians met. Some groups remained distinct, many intermarried and exchanged culture, yielding unparalleled diversity. Centuries of migration from Europe and Asia layered new identities, modern multicultural societies where traditions blend. Oceania is the most linguistically diverse region, an estimated 1,800 languages, about a quarter of the world's total. Oceans and mountains, isolated communities allowing unique speech to evolve. New Guinea alone hosts over 1,000 languages, some with only a few hundred speakers. Papuan languages are many separate families and isolates, a living library of human history. Austronesian languages spread with Lapita descendants across the Pacific. Closely related Polynesian languages, Samoan, Tongan, Tahitian, Hawaiian. Colonial history added lingua francas, English and French. Creoles like Tok Pisin and Bislama blend European words with local grammars, now full languages spoken by millions, symbols of shared identity. Cultures shaped by islands and a spiritual bond with nature place community at the center. Across Polynesia, Melanesia, and Micronesia, life orbits extended family and village, valuing social harmony, reciprocity, and obligations. Art and ceremony infuse daily life, masks telling ancestral stories, tattoo marking genealogy, status, and life's journey. Dance and music pass down stories, celebrate harvests, and dialogue with the divine. Navigation, fishing, and agriculture rely on deep ecological wisdom, navigating by stars, waves, and birds across hundreds of miles. Traditional practices coexist with modern life, a young person online by day, in ceremony by night. Christianity, introduced by Europeans, now often blends with earlier belief systems. Myth, tropical paradise of carefree life. Reality, daily work, resilience, and adaptation. Myth, primitive cultures. Truth, complex knowledge systems and master navigators with scientific understanding of currents and stars. Myth, one culture. Truth, profound diversity. In some places, neighboring villages speak entirely different languages. Myth, insignificant islands. Truth, climate front lines, leaders advocating powerfully on the world stage. What happens here warns the world. Oceania is defined by water and breathtaking diversity of peoples, languages, and cultures, feats of navigation, unique arts, and ecological wisdom. It is a story of connection, to land, to sea, and most importantly, to each other. We move beyond confusion with Australia to see dynamic nations celebrating deep ancestral roots. To truly know Oceania is to look beyond brochures and witness a vibrant, resilient continent, a vital part of our one precious planet.